weekly on him this week. Just talk about his performance, stepping back at it, how well he played.
He was very productive. He was very productive, and it came from the way he practiced. He had a great 2 weeks of practice, and he played well against this team last year. I mean, this is his brand of football, and he was very, very productive Saturday.
Mark, I wanted to ask you guys leading the nation in tackles for loss in terms of just consistently getting into the backfield and dropping people. What is there a key to taking that and going from that to building on that in terms of just getting better at getting them off the field right now? It seems like you're backing them up and then they're managing to get out of those plays sometimes.
Yeah, at times. Our third down production was 78% Saturday.
Right.
But we were 13 of 17, I believe, on third down. So I thought we performed pretty well Saturday on third down. The one game where we had a little bit of a downer was the Cincinnati game. I think that's what you're referring to.
Okay.
We had some issues getting off the field on third down, but other than that, I don't know where we're ranked in third down. It's up there in the country pretty good, though. And it comes because we are getting negative yardage plays. Last year, that was a thorn in our side. Last year, we couldn't get off the field in third and long. We were really good in third and short and third and medium. We get into third and long, we couldn't get off the field last year. That has turned this year. We're starting to get off the field, and it's paying dividends because we are creating negative yardage plays on first down.
Mark, how much do you guys work on the 2-minute defense in practice? And considering you've given up 2 drives at the end of games and 2 consecutive games, is that something maybe you try to work on?
Yeah, I think it's something you got to look at. I mean, we work on it typically on Thursdays. We go against our offense in a 2-minute situation to end practice on Thursdays. And that's kind of where you formulate your game plan. And it comes down, we've talked about it as a staff. When you get to that situation, somebody's got to make a play, period. I mean, you either want the ball or you don't want the ball. You either want to go make a play or you don't want to go make a play. We've experimented with a couple of different things. And, again, I got to give Rutgers a lot of credit. On the 4th and 9 catch, the guy made a catch. We're all over him. I don't know. There's no coaching point I can come up with to say, oh, you got to do this better. Because if it's a good ball, it's probably intercepted. The kid made a great catch, and it continued to drive. But even with that said, at some point in time, we got to come up with a play. We know the ball's going down the field. You know that. We have to go become the wide receiver. And I don't know what else to do other than continue to practice it, like you said, and continue to preach about it.
When you looked at that, you watched that last drive on tape.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple balls that are just perfectly thrown. The first catch that Sanu had on the sideline, even the touchdown throw, just some really well placed.
Some really well placed balls, and that's what Coach Holt said to me on the sideline. I'm losing my cookies, and he's like, "It's a great throw. It's a great catch. Let's go play the next down." Because we were prepared for it. We tried to go make the interception, and the ball was just out of our reach. Again, it seems like thus far, when it gets into the 2-minute situations, teams are performing exceptionally well against us right now. We just got to keep doing what we're doing, keep practicing it, keep talking about it, keep preaching it, and hopefully at some point in time we'll come up and make a play.
How hard is it to pretty much hold them in check for 55 minutes in that last bit?
And that's what we get paid to do. You try not to show your hand too early. And it seems like that people are getting a grasp of what we're doing as the game goes, and it comes down to that situation. We talked about it after the game. We were locking Sanu. We're playing boxing one on him. And it was good for about 3.5 quarters, and on that last drive, they started hiding in behind another receiver so we couldn't get our paws on him. We couldn't get our mitts on him. Even though we were trailing him, there's no jamming him at the line of scrimmage. And, again, you got credit the other guys for that. I thought they did a good job. They had a nice game plan coming in. I thought Dodd gave him a little bit of excitement to the offense when he came. Gave him a little burst.
Mark, can you talk a little bit about just Syracuse offense? What stands out about that group to you?
Well, it starts with the offensive line, in my opinion. Coach Marone, in my opinion, is one of the best offensive line coaches in the country before he got the head job at Syracuse. So it starts up there, very well coached up front. Their offensive line coach played with me at Marshall. He's been at Tennessee. He's been at a lot of places. He's a great offensive line coach. So when you watch them up front, they are very, very well coached. We got to stop their running game. Their tight end's their second leading receiver. I think he's 7th in the league in catches. So he does distribute the ball around quite a bit. And I think Nesbitt's one of the more veteran quarterbacks in our league right now. He's playing pretty well within their offense.
With the second straight road game, what's the mental state of the players after another
Well, I
tough
think they're
loss?
excited. We get to go play on turf again. You know, the kids feel like they're really fast on turf. I thought Saturday night, I thought we played pretty fast. We looked fast. You go back and look at the film. I had all kinds of texts from buddies across the country that got a chance to see the game and talking about how fast we looked. So I think the kids will be excited about it. There'll be no elements. We're inside on turf, and we're going to go play.
You guys had a red zone play where Sam was in the open field and we were down on, I think the quarterback was rolling right. That's about as fast as he's looked.
Yeah.
When you talk about speed,
That stood out because it was out in the open field. But I mean, you watched Lattimore a few times, flash, Jarrell flashed. Giddens, those are a bunch of plays where you stand on the sideline and you go, woo! That, you know, it's just that flash in front of your face where you go, wow, that's pretty special right there.
Is there anything that teams are seeing from week to week, Mark, that you guys haven't been able to account for? Is there anything, for example, that Syracuse is seeing on film from this game that'll say, okay, we can exploit this now in the coverages?
They may. I mean, we're going to change. We're going to evolve each week. So we're going to try not to show the same thing each week. I hope that's the case because again, we're going to evolve, and as each game goes, we'll have a new wrinkle and continue doing what we're doing. But we'll see when we get out there on the field.
How much is the pass rush impacting what goes back in the back seven?
Well, I think it's huge. I think it's huge. I mean, anytime you can rush the quarterback, if you're stopping the run and you're getting negative yardage plays, if you can stop the run and you're getting negative yardage plays and you're sacking the quarterback,
You're not in the position you are now.
yeah, I mean, those are the things we're doing right now. We just got to make sure we continue to do them.
Mark, you had mentioned Giddens. For 2 games now, he's had monster first halves,
Right.
and I know it'd be hard to duplicate that production again in another half. But what can you tell them about maybe just trying to put together a full 60 minutes?
Yeah, it's a matter of rolling them and keeping them fresh. But the hard part is when you're on the sideline with these guys and you look at them and they're you got them. They're frothing at the mouth. They don't want to come out. You don't pull them out. It's hard to pull them out because you don't want to lose their swagger. And I'll say this too: those guys on the other side are pretty smart too. If you are having a monster half, they're going to go in and say, we got to start chipping this guy. We got to start covering him up at the tight end. We got to do some things to take this guy out of the game. So you got to credit them too. But I agree. I mean, we need to roll him a little bit, keep him fresh.
All righty, y'all. Let's switch for top.